We won. We actually won. We finally have a Fantastic Four movie that understands the characters. I think it's very easy to say that every character in this team works, and not a, oh yeah, I think they did pretty good adapting them. No, they ripped these guys straight out of the books. I legitimately love that everyone I talked to after this movie gave me different answers for which character was their favorite. My friend loved Silver Surfer, and my other friend loved Galactus. Matt Shakman, you are my god. I've only seen the movie once and I plan to see it again, so these are my thoughts on one viewing. To start off with Reed, I was excited for Pedro because I felt he had the acting chops to pull this off, and Reed is not an easy character to do. He's constantly trying to think of new things and know the answers to everything. He blames himself for what happened to them on the ship, which gave them their powers even though it changed their life for the better, except for the thing. And Pedro nailed it. This dude looks like he has the weight of the world on his shoulders the entire movie, and that's because he actually does. The scene where Reed is talking to Franklin and says, I don't want you to be like me, and that there's something wrong with him, and Franklin confuses him, so Reed starts to let go of trying to know everything, specifically about his child, and says, I'll let you show me. This is so peak, bro. They nailed it. The scene where he argues with Sue and says he invites the worst thing into his head so he can solve the problem, and that's just how he is. And Vanessa Kirby looks at him and says, well, you being you hurts me. And Pedro responds with, I don't mean to. Bro, Matt Shakman, you are my god. Reed is always trying to find an answer to a problem. When something goes wrong, he feels that he should have been smart enough to see it coming or to stop it. And Shackman gets that, and Pedro conveys it perfectly. There is not one single bad character interaction between any of the members in the team. Their chemistry is so palpable. These guys are not coworkers, they are family. Sue is undoubtedly the MVP of the movie. She has the most important scenes, and she's the reason they win in the end. I love how she is not only the character who holds the family together the most, but she also kind of holds the earth together. Shackman puts Sue as kind of an ambassador in this world, and people look up to her. And the scene where she goes out to the public and says, I will not sacrifice my baby for this world, but I will not sacrifice this world for my baby. Bro, Shackman, what are you doing to me? Vanessa Kirby easily pulls off the warmth of Sue and shows how she will not let anyone harm her family, which they show as much as they can, because she's 100% the most powerful member on the team. Thank God we are done of Sue just being there as Reed's love interest. We actually get a character this time. Out of all the castings, when they first announced Joseph as Johnny Storm, I was iffy on that one. But when I walked out of this movie, he was my favorite. I absolutely love how they didn't just make him the guy who loves the spotlight, even though, yeah, he is. Johnny's a smart guy. He's integral to making sure the world doesn't get eaten in this movie. His relationship with the Silver Surfer is one of the highlights, especially when he decodes her language, and we cut to the flashback of her when Galactus chose her as his herald. Joseph Quinn nails both the impulsive, attention hog loving Johnny and also the more smart and calculated side of Johnny. He's also just a delight to watch. Joseph Quinn has some serious charisma, and my eyes immediately locked onto him when he's on the screen. I love how he is so willing to give himself up for his family. They're definitely setting something up here that's going to be a punch to the gut when it inevitably comes years from now. Also, quick side note, I am unbelievably excited for when Spider-Man inevitably meets this team and for his interactions with Johnny. We are in for peak. The Thing has been my favorite character of the Fantastic Four since I first learned about them, and I gotta say, it was disappointing not getting enough scenes with him as I thought we would. For the past movies, Ben's arc of him slowly starting to accept what he looks like now and getting through it with his family has been put at the forefront, so I'm glad they didn't do it again right off the bat. But I definitely could have used more scenes of fleshing him out, especially with Sue and his love interest Rachel. But every scene we did get with him, yeah, that's the thing. Ebon's got it, dude. I love his interactions with Johnny, and they were honestly the highlight of the movie for me. The scene where Ben talks to Reed saying he has to stop beating himself up over the accident and jokes around with him, you genuinely feel that these guys are best friends. And they even bring it back when they're back in the air during the space sequence, and Reed is about to do something and Ben's kind of iffy on it, but Reed stops, looks at Ben, and says, trust me, and Ben does. Like, this is the Fantastic Four. Every character is perfect, not just the team, but the supporting cast. Herbie is adorable, and Silver Surfer, God, every scene with Silver Surfer is beautiful to look at. The scene where she's surfing on lava in space, like, my God, The CGI in this movie is the best CGI I've seen in a superhero movie since I think Guardians 3. The space sequence in this movie is the best sequence I've seen in a comic book movie since Across the Spider-Verse, aka the greatest comic book movie of all time. Galactus is a powerhouse. Ralph Ineson's line delivery is amazing and his voice shakes the seats in the theater, and whenever he was on screen, you can feel the dread of every character as they look at him, and his design is perfect. I love the production design in this movie. It feels so different from any other comic book movie, and I love that the production designer of this movie is doing Doomsday. Speaking of Doomsday, that post-credit scene, yeah, you got me. It's peak. I cannot wait for Doomsday, and the Doom mask looks so good. My biggest gripe with this movie is definitely that it's cut too short. I wanted another 30 minutes. Hell, if they gave me another hour, I still would have watched it. But I feel like giving it at least 15 minutes would have gave us some more breathing room and make us connect more with each character, specifically with Ben. But nonetheless, this movie is fantastic, and I'm so glad the Fantastic Four finally have a unanimous good movie. I'm gonna have to rewatch it a couple more times to see where it ends up on my final ranking of the year, but so far, I'm liking this new course corrected MCU. So I'm gonna give Fantastic Four a 9 out of 10. Don't let me down, Doomsday.